Hey, Pasta, you're here. I'm live right now. I'm about ready to start this thing. We got a lot to talk about with everything that's on my title, guys. Thank you guys for watching us later on. If you're watching us now, join me live. Thank you very much. This is J19 here, brought to you in our live stream. We are doing a podcast, gaming type of sort. We're going to be talking about Dying Light 2 mostly. We will be talking about Horizon Forbidden West, the Final Fantasy VII event, which is celebrating the 25th anniversary, and among other things. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, but if you guys want to listen to it without looking at my face, feel free to do that. YouTube has that offer. It will also be on my Discord and whatnot. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, stay notified when I go live or upload my next video. And as always, guys, I will do a couple of things. My friend can introduce himself. We may have more people joining. I'm not sure. I am in a party of like 5, but I think a lot of them are busy. But Ari's here. We can talk about how we feel about Dying Light 2. So far, what Techland has shown us. Talk about Dying Light 1 a little bit because I know what's going on with this miniseries, and I want to get into it a little bit because I just read a little more details of it when I just loaded up this game, which I will be playing this game a little bit while we're talking about games because majority of it's going to be about Dying Light 2. Well, the first half. So with that said, I'll do a couple things so he can introduce himself, and we're going to start this thing right off right. Well, you do have your opinions about games, and me and him both got different opinions on stuff, so we will not be button heads. We will have a nice, uh, long discussion about how we feel about certain things of the topics at hand. Uh, I know a lot of people, a lot of fanboys out there are attacking each other, but that's not how we're going to do it because we're not like those people. We are normal gamers that love games, and we just like to talk about certain things and give our honest opinion about it. That's how I work things. Let's see here. So we up to? Oh, let's go. Sounds like a plan. Me, I'll just try to play this game while we're talking. Mostly just let the music and that play in the background. I will do some parkour and play some zombies, which I have before I started this thing, which is pretty fun. I like slaying zombies. Yeah, it was. I really like the. This we'll talk about Dying Light 1 a little bit. I might not. There's gonna be some spoilers in there because the game's a little old. So spoiler warning. This is for the podcast. We'll talk about Dying Light 1, Dying Light 2, about what I think the story may go. But we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna take turns talking about like everything that Techland has shown us so far, and then so on and so forth. And I am almost done. So bear with me, folks. We're almost done here. Alrighty, I think we're ready to roll. Alright. Sorry about that, people. Just slow start. This always like this. The first time I always stream. I'll play some music in the background with the game. Anyways, let's see. Let's talk about Dying Light 1. For me, I have talked about Dying Light 1 when on the 7-year anniversary. I had somebody comment in the video below. They said, dude, I don't know where you got 8 years. It's only been 7. So, my mistake. I was so excited to talk about it and like celebrate it's been 7 years since this game was released. And it was Techland's, one of the better games they ever made, other than the original Dead Island was another game changer. But this is not about Dead Island. Dead Island is like now property of Deep Silver, so they do what they want to do with the IP. We'll focus on Dying Light 2 for the first half of this podcast, and what I think of Dying Light. I think Dying Light is fun, especially with friends. Me and Ari played it over a week ago, I think it was already. It's been that long. But we'll probably get back to playing it again. It's very fun. I love the parkour, especially as you get more skills. The story was, like I said, the story is alright. I mean, first time playing it, it's like you don't know what's going on, so it's like, it's surprising, shocking, but once you play again and again and again, the story like becomes like kind of the back of your mind. You don't really care about it. You just hear the slay zombies, parkour, and pull off some sick moves, and that's what this game is all about. Like, my goodness, Dying Light 1, Techland, they say, how can we make our beloved zombie games? They're the one made that Dead Island, of course. So, let's put parkour in it and see what happens. And it turned out to be a very fun experience. Love drop kicking zombies. That's one of my favorite moves of all time. Just sitting there dropping kicking them off the roofs, drop kick them into fences, other zombies, and the weapons in this game are amazing. Like, I got a golf club, I got a hockey stick, frying pans, you name it. Over the years, Techland had a lot of fun with the cosmetics, the DLCs, the extra free stuff they offered, blueprints, and whatnot. So, I even bashed a zombie's head in with a gnome, but that was a very slow weapon. Yeah, it was. So the story was, like I said, alright. I mean, you play as Kyle Crane. He's a GRE agent, undercover, supposed to track down the missing file, which is stolen from a former GRE agent, or whatever he was. He turned into a rogue agent, or whatever, and he's planning on selling it, weaponizing it, and GRE wants it back, and so he has to go undercover into the city. Of course, he gets bitten. That's how normal zombie games are. Even Dead Island, you get bitten. It's a typical zombie game. But yeah, I like the world building. I like the way they have the parkour laid out in the city, the slums. Now, I don't have access to the actual city, like Sector 0, but that is even more amazing. The parkour and stuff, like off rooftops, your really hideouts, got more verticality. A lot of zombie types in this game. We haven't unlocked all of them yet on this playthrough, but I had played and beat the game years ago. And some of the zombie types are a little extreme. Especially, the creepy ones. I probably don't really want to spoil it, but it's definitely interesting take. Definitely makes you want to game plans like, okay, how do I deal with this infected? I can't just go in there and slaughter it. I have to be very careful because you get cornered, you can die, and you have to reset to the last checkpoint. And sometimes you don't want to do that. So, your experience with Dying Light, did you play a lot of it, or is this your first time? Or? Yeah. Yeah. Ah, you little... anyways, I am at a point in this game where there's a mini-series going on. And I know exactly what Techland is doing because I know what's going on with Dying Light 2. Like, especially the opening part. Because I watched a couple of videos, I had kind of a little bit, like, my thinking was going on, so you know what, there's no way that's him, but yeah, it is. Techland, if you watch any of their interviews, they were asked, it's like, is there any characters from Dying Light 1 making a return in Dying Light 2? And he got to say, well, the story takes place 20 years, 15, 20 years down the road. He says you will not see any returning characters, but you will see like references, nods, and maybe a mere mentioning of certain characters. That's all he had to say. But I think that's more like PR bluff to try to get us off course, because what's going on in Dying Light 1? They have released a new update, which is the miniseries. It's involving Spike and Kyle Crane, and Spike needs supplies. The virals are going nuts right now. I'm in like event number 2, and virals just keep on coming. I must have killed about 3 or 4 of them already. The city is in shambles right now. It is going nuts, and it's all leading up to the release of Dying Light 2. So I know what's going on here, and Techland, you are very smart. But once we as a community think about what's going on, it's like, wow, okay, Techland, you can bluff all you want in the interviews, but we know what's going on. So I'm looking forward to Dying Light 2, and from what I see, the improvements on the combat, like especially the humanoids, I shouldn't say humanoids, humans, the zombies are more, I think, more interesting. I think Dying Light 1 a little bit more dull, like especially the way they look. They look more generic. I think Dying Light 2, the zombies look more, the infected look more, and more interesting, more like out there. Especially the more zombie types they got out there now. They have an updated looking goon, which, as you can tell, like the mutation has spread. They got screamers, they got, you name it. It's just a whole bunch of different zombie infections I can't wait to fight in Dying Light 2. Parkour looks awesome. I must have watched like 3 or 4 different streamers or content creators like post their version of the side quest they played. It's about 45, 50 minutes long. Depends how long they took to play it. It was fun. I was able to witness the atmosphere in the game, the combat, the parkour, different enemy types. There was even one of the sequence I watched, like Omni Zombie. He was trying to get back to base, and he got caught by a screamer, a hollower. Actually, they call them hollowers. And if you get caught by those, they start screaming like the screamers in this one, the creepy zombie babies. But they're not zombie babies in Dying Light 2. They are really nasty looking. They're hollowers, so they howl out, and they alert all the infected around, and that's what starts the chasing sequence. And you better haul ass. You better haul ass and get back to the UV or safe zone, because the longer you're out there being chased, the higher the level of the chase goes up, and then you're introduced to more variety of infected, and then you get the volatiles. And hey, 9, welcome to the chat, man. We are discussing Dying Light 2, most anticipated game for me, one of, and can't wait. The game, so like, yeah, the zombies are chasing. I really like that. The atmosphere in the game is a step up from this one. This one's pretty scary at times, especially when you don't know what's lurking in the shadows. I really think Techland really took what Dying Light 1 had to offer, and then he also improved upon it with the gameplay, parkour. I know a lot of people complain about the parkour in Dying Light 2. They said it's a little too floaty, but I think it'll work out fine. I saw a lot of gameplay footage of that. Speaking of gameplay footage, we'll get into it right away. Finally, Techland has released a 4-minute gameplay footage of the last gen. Now, this is where me and Ari have a little bit of differences. I think it looked great. It looked fine. It looked good. I think that it showcased. It didn't. I know some of the parts were like a little edited at the beginning, but then they start showing more gameplay without any cuts. And I thought it ran smooth for 30 frames per second. The visuals, you can tell, is a little bit muddier than like next gen or PC, but I think that it was good enough to like get my worries a little bit down. I think I would be fine on last gen, but if you're still a little worried, maybe just wait until the game's out. Maybe you watch somebody stream it on, because there's not everybody that has a PlayStation 5 or Series X or PC. So I'm pretty sure there'll be some last gen streamers or content creators out there. See what they have to say. Check them out if you're still worried, but I think you'd be fine. Just don't expect it to be a Horizon Forbidden West. I am buying Standard Edition. I don't have enough money to buy any of the... I almost bought the big, I think the collector edition, but what turned me off was they gave you a steel case with no physical game. I was like, oh, I'm a physical collector. I get physical games. I do have some free PlayStation 5 games on my PS5, but PlayStation Plus. But I got the Standard Edition. We will be talking more about that after the Dying Light 2 segment. My hype for that and what I think that Guerrilla Games is doing with that, because that, my friends, is another one of my most anticipated games of February. Now, Ari, what do you think of the last gen gameplay footage for Dying Light 2? Yeah. Oh, you think so? Yeah, I can see that. They did like the tease of like Dying Light 2's the last episode of Dying to Know. Um you can't hear the co-host. Check your setting, Ari. He said he can't hear you. He can't hear you talking. You have to check your settings. And nine, what I'll say what he's just said. He said it looked smooth. It looked fine, but like he said, they're just using like a lot of like the simple, like stuff they already used before. Like they, as well. Yeah, he's gonna check it. But what he said is, he don't think that they could have shown like different areas, like show more to really satisfy, you know, like to really showcase the last gen. Um, he's still a little skeptical, which is fine. I mean, it is a big, ambitious game. So when you have a big, ambitious game like this, you're gonna have people are gonna be, like Cyberpunk, and then you have other games that are really big, ambitious. They promise a lot of stuff, even show gameplay. But as you can tell, Cyberpunk showed PlayStation 4 footage, PS4 Pro footage, and we all thought that looked good. But then what they did is they selected a certain portion of the game that what they knew that wasn't going to be buggy, and it's like, here's your gameplay footage. But I think Techland's going to be fine, but he's got to be right to be a little skeptical. So I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are hating on Dying Light 2 and not willing to give it a chance, or like saying there's no last gen gameplay. The ones they keep showing is like, it's bullcrap. It's like really edited, and I don't like listening to like the haters, because it's like, I know you're skeptical too, but it's like, don't just say it's going to be another Cyberpunk, because Techland really cares about their games. CD Projekt Red, like higher ups, they was just rushing to get the game out because they was trying to make the money, and it backfired. So Ari, did you get your settings set?
Yeah, I got it changed.
Okay.
I thought it was changed from the last stream, but I must have changed it back or something.
Right? Yeah, it happens. I think I'm all good. Like, I always check. That's why when my camera goes off for a second, I'm always checking, make sure my mic's not muted, because, great, excellent. 9 can hear you, we're good. So what do you think of the NPCs that we saw? I mean, some of the generic ones in Dying Light 1, you can tell they're flat, you can tell it's a 2015 game. What do you think of some of the character models in Dying Light 2? I think they look fantastic, way better than Dying Light 1. They made a lot of improvements in that area.
I mean, the whole game so far looks better than the first game, so...
Yeah. I think so too. And I'm really interested in seeing, like, how they handle, like, the dark zones. Let's see. And, just like atmosphere in that was incredible. I don't know if you checked any of the side quests that content creators done, but there's a couple of them that did there's 2 side quests. Most of them did like the first one, but there's a couple of them that actually did the harder one. And the atmosphere in that was way good. It was impressive. Yes, I will be talking about the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary live stream on this podcast. That's probably going to be the next thing I'll talk about, but I can give a little snippet. I think I know what they're going to show. With Nomura and Katase being at the event as special guests, I think we'll put Dying Light 2 in the corner for now. We'll come back to it, but just get off my chest before I lose control, focus. I think there is no freaking way that Nomura and Katase, they know bottom in their hearts and their minds that last year, when they done they call it like episode 0 for First Soldier, they were questioned. Well, Nomura was there. He was questioned about, Katase. He was questioned about part 2. Hey, how's part 2 going? Can you give us a little update? And they was talking about Jesse, and he's like laughing. He couldn't like hold it in, but he couldn't say anything about it, whether or not she's alive. But they ended up telling us about part 2's development is going smoothly. They said that Cloud's running around a whole bunch of wilderness, nature, depends on the translation, and that we like to show you. We have more planned to show you and talk about, but at this time, PR talk. They had to go to different departments, talk to a lot of people, and just get the green light to talk about it. And Nomura said, Katase said that it wouldn't be good right now to do that because Square Enix got a lot on their plate right now. That was last year. This year, with both of them there, I expect somebody to sit there and say, well, hey guys, this is the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. We're all ambitious and anticipating part 2 of the remake project. Can you talk about it a little bit? I think they're going to have to say something about it because it's the 25th anniversary. That's a quarter of a century. And this is big. It ain't just First Soldier. I know they're going to talk about Season 2, which is all fine. I think they're going to showcase that. Talk about, what Season 2 is going to offer, cosmetics, new stuff, maybe a new story trailer for it. But I do expect them to let us know how part 2's come along. Maybe give us a hint, maybe a teaser or something, what they can show us. I think, because Ever Crisis is going to be there too, because that's coming out this year. What better way to talk about that game as well I think it's going to be an hour-long broadcast, live stream, whatever you call. I think they got to talk about Ever Crisis, or at least have a blog post after the fact, like they did last time. Ever Crisis, the models they are using for like the battles are from Remake, and so yeah, me too. I want to play Ever Crisis. Like I want to play Before Crisis, Crisis Core. Play Advent Children as a video game. Come on. But I think they're gonna have to say something about part 2 because part 2 and Ever Crisis kind of have a little they're close because the battle models. If you can watch that trailer, go back and watch it really carefully. They're using the same models from Final Fantasy VII Remake for Barret, Aerith, Cloud. I don't think we've seen Tifa in that trailer. I'm not sure, but they look just like the remake model. So I think that Part 2 is gonna have to be talked about a little bit. That's what I think. But I think we're mostly gonna see First Soldier for the longest part. They may mention Arbor Crisis or show something of that, and they might be harassed enough where they have to say something about Part 2. It might not be a whole lot. Don't expect a 5-minute trailer showcasing a whole bunch of stuff for us to go nuts. I expect maybe a little bit more update on the project, how Part 2 is coming along, and are you guys willing to talk about it? And I think they're going to talk about it a little bit. They got to. It's the 25th anniversary. All eyes are going to be glued on it. I know it's going to be in Japanese, but I'll just wait. I'll wait. I'm not going to get up at 5 a.m. and watch it. I just can't. I can't, but I'm looking forward to it, for sure.
Sure you can.
You think so? So, Ari, I'm sorry for overstepping you here, but what's your thoughts for the Final Fantasy VII live stream broadcast?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, hopefully there's something about Part 2, but I don't know. I haven't even beat the first game right now.
Yeah, I know you're still working on it, along with your other backlog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw you're anticipating possibly seeing Part 2. Did you see Ever Crisis or even seeing First Soldier? What your thoughts are on those, or are you just not into mobile games? Just like put it off to the side.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen any of
those? I know of it, but
all right. But yeah, so looks like you and I are both agreeing that we could possibly see something for Part 2 on Monday. I can't believe it's Monday. It's going to be on Monday. So we got we got 2.5 days until bam, we'll see the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary. It blows my mind how fast we come. Late next year? Yeah, I agree, 9. Like, if some sources are saying that 2023 is going to be the year for Part 2, and a lot of people don't realize, they don't do a lot of reading and research. It's hard to find the exact interview, but if you go back all the way till 2019, around E3, when they was doing a lot of interviews in the backstage, and was it Nomura or Katase? It might have been both, but they did mention that they were like half their team is working on polishing up Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they said they were planning on the beginning development of Part 2. That was back middle of 2019, and so then they had more interviews with the Ultimanias. They're saying that Part 2's in full development. They're working on it full development. They're full speed ahead. Everything's going smoothly. They have readjusted for COVID-19, which is amazing. Creative Business Unit 1. I know, give them a lot of flack for spoiling their games too much. They're, they the execution of some of the concepts for the compilation of Final Fantasy VII were pretty the concepts are great. Execution was poorly handled. For Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children, you name it. Even Crisis Core. A lot of people like Crisis Core, but a lot of the concepts in there were great, but the execution was especially Genesis. You mention Genesis and the Final Fantasy VII community, people say, oh boy, where to start? But, I do expect to see Part 2, because, you know what, it's going almost 3 years, guys, since they've been starting working on development for Part 2. How long did Part 1 take? They started in like 2015 with CyberConnect 2. Then 2016 they let them go. Oh no, 2017 they let them go. And then like late 2017 they announced that, hey, we're scrapping what CyberConnect 2 has done. We're bringing it in-house because we want to make sure we do this right. And that's all we heard. We haven't heard from them since. They gave us a little concept art. They was going to show something in 2018, but they it's like, no, you didn't get the green light, pal. Sorry, Kitase. But then and then what happened? Like late 2017 to what? April 10th of 2020, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. So not bad. Just under 3 years. 2023. 2023 sounds good for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. If they can even call it that. They might come up with another fancy word. Maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Reunion. Something, I don't know. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 has been in development for quite a while. A lot longer than people think. A lot of people think that, they just went in full development after Integrate came out. How many parts do I expect? Depends where they end Part 2 and how much they want to expand. If they end Part 2 at the Nibelheim incident, not incident, but when the party goes to Nibelheim and like they freak out, like on Cloud, what the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on? It's like you saw your hometown's burnt down. It's still here. What the hell? Like, are you lying to us? He's like, no, I felt the fire, yada yada. If they end it there, then you're looking at possibly 4 games. 4 parts, at least. And I tell you what, they go 4 parts. You're talking about final parts being on PlayStation 6. Yikes. I don't know. But if they want to push it and make Part 2 a bigger game, I know Nomura say, hey, we can make it smaller games and get out quicker, but they're not doing that because we would have had Part 2 already, in my opinion, if they went that route. I think they're making a bigger Part 2. If they end it at Nibelheim, it's going to be 4 parts. If they go beyond that, and then it maybe at the Temple of Ancients, or possibly the Forgotten City, 3 parts. Because, who are we going to get next in Part 2? Red 13's playable. Yuffie's playable because her character model and stuff's done. K-Sith, his CGI model is created. Okay, so we saw that in Final Fantasy VII Remake, which, that blew my freaking mind. Who else? Vincent. Everybody wants to see Vincent Valentine. Everybody you talk to is like, who are you most interested in seeing in Part 2? Vincent Valentine. The vampire guy, the former Turk. You know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he looks like in Remake. Sid. We could possibly see Sid. Because if you play Intermission and understood how Sonon fights with his staff, and his limit break has dragons involved. Some of the moves that he does with Yuffie for the team-up attacks reminds me of Advent Children. What does Sid do for Cloud? He put him on a staff, a spear, and threw him up in the air. Yeah, Vincent is a badass. I think if Square Enix really need to, if they want to push out this game in the PS5 era, they're going to have to make Game 2 go beyond Nibelheim. End it at Temple of the Ancients or Forgotten City. Make Red 13, Keshi, or K-Sith, Sid, Vincent, Red 13 all playable. That's 5 extra characters. That's 9 characters. Boom. You got all your characters. Let's get the story going. I cannot wait. But if you want to stretch it out to PlayStation 6 for 4 or 5 parts, yikes. Then you're not gonna get. You'll end up. You know what you're gonna end up doing? You know how Red 13 was just a guest party member, and everybody's like, oh, I can't play as him, but I understand. they can treat Vince, if they really want to do 4 or 5 parts, they can treat Vincent just like they did with Red 13. He'll be in your party fighting as a guest party member. You can't control him. You can't look at his stats. You can't look at his gear, his equipment. He'd be just a badass former Turk guy out fighting whatever monstrosity they have planned for part 2. I mean, that's the way I could see them go if you want to do 4 or 5 parts. But hope not. Hope 3, but possibility 4. Ari, what's your thoughts? How many parts do you think they can make? Do you see them making?
Honestly, I think they're going to go with 4 parts.
You think so?
Yeah.
So what do you, like, what's your ideas of them ending the game at? Like, what do you think is a good spot for a good ending for part 2?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of spots they could end it. But, like, I don't know. It would be better if it was 3 games instead of 4.
Yeah, I think 3 sounds good to me, but you know, who knows? Like, that's a lot of people's worry is, because they did the whole segment of Goodbye Zombie. That's one of the virals for the event. We'll get back to Dying Light 2 after this segment, but yeah, it's you can't tell. Like, a lot of people are teasing. Like, I remember when everybody finished part 1, everybody was teasing Ari. I don't know if he was paying attention to any people talking about the game, but I noticed that people were like joking around, saying, "Well, the next game will end just after you get to Junan Harbor. You get on this ship, it'd be game over. The unknown story continues." I'm like, no way, because they only talk about Calm, Chocobo Farm, the Midgard Zalem swamp area, the Mytho Mines, and Fort Condor, and then you go to, no, it's only 6 areas, guys. It's only 6 chapters, maybe 7, 8 chapters at most. That'd be nuts to do that. Like, I know, I get the joke because in the original game, Midgard was only 3 or 4 hours long, on average. That's only like 10 to 15% of the main story. So a lot of people are like, you know, it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge where they're going to end part 2. It's all about execution, how far do you want to expand each area, the story, the characters, all that. It all depends. Now, we can talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake all night. I'm pretty sure we can, because there's a lot going on in my mind about all that. I'll say that for another video. Especially after you beat the game, then me and you can have our live stream for Final Fantasy VII Remake, like we did when Matt and I did it for the very first episode. But I got a lot of good ideas for part 2, and a lot of them are from other content creators. I'm really liking what they're thinking of, but hey, you know what? Nobody's wrong. Okay, nobody's wrong about where the story's gonna go from here. And that's what's awesome about that. That's why Square Enix did what they did. That's why Creative Business Unit 1, Nomura and Katase and them were like, man, we can get these guys talking for 3 years at least. 3 years. And you know what? They're right. Here we are. 2022 and we're still talking about the darn game. It's like, so I hope, guys, to wrap up the Final Fantasy VII event thing, and we will see First Soldier. We might see Ever Crisis, because if we see Ever Crisis, there is no way, like I said, Nomura and Katase get out of there without being bamboozled, not bombarded. That's what I'm talking about, not bamboozled. Bombarded with questions about part 2. Because the last time he was like, they would question about Jessie, whether or not she's alive or dead, and it made him chuckle, and like, he can't say anything about it, but then, of course, they talked about how a little bit teased about Cloud and that. So, hey, anything's possible. I cannot wait. We're only 3 days, 2.5 days away or so. Man, already. I'm excited. Um, okay, so the next topic we will talk about Horizon Forbidden West. This is one of my other most important, not most important, most anticipated games. I played Horizon Zero Dawn last year and finally beat it. The game was good. Uh, do I think that it's shown its age a little bit? Yeah, but it was still a good game. The combat, the combat took me a while to get used to. Ari's trying to play it, and me and him both had to play on easy because the difficulty spike between Horizon Zero Dawn went from easy training and like bam, like normal is now hard. Let's get our butts kicked. And I'm starting to learn the combat a little bit more. I was playing a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn to get my feet wet and my rust off my fingers for Horizon Forbidden West when that shows up, because I will be streaming on my channel, just like Dying Light 2. I think the Aloy is a really interesting character. What we learned about her, that she's a descendant of... Shoot, I forgot her name. But, anyways, found out she's a descendant, and it, like, the ending almost, it made me a little emotional. Like, her journey trying to find out who she was, and then silence. What can I say about that bad guy? We see him in Horizon Forbidden West, and like one of the footages I saw that Aloy's actually talking to him again. It's like, Aloy, do not listen to what he has to say. He's no good. Quit talking to him. But, man, Horizon Zero Dawn was fun. I like the open world. I like the multiple save points at the campfires. I think they were pretty fun. The machines were awesome. I think when you strike each part and it falls off and you can like pick up like weapons and stuff to use against them, I thought that was fantastic. I think now, do I think the facial animations and stuff of that of the NPCs are a little outdated? Absolutely. But in Horizon Forbidden West, what I saw so far, big time improvement. In Horizon Forbidden West, I am really interested in seeing like all the machines they've showcased so far in person. I know they haven't shown us everything, and I'm really looking forward to that Slitherfang fight. I saw little clips of that, and yeah, that looks really fun. I cannot wait to use all the arsenals that she's got to fight that darn thing. But man, whew, all right, Ari. You're into Horizon Zero Dawn. You're trying to play that. What do you think of the game so far after making some adjustments?
Honestly, the game's fun, but the difficulty was the difficulty on that game. For some reason, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, and I think Guerrilla Games knows that. I think they want to make a game that's not too hard. Like even on normal, I thought normal was a little bit rough at times. Like it's like this shouldn't be that hard. But go on. Keep saying. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I thought my mic was muted there for a second. But I mean, other than like the difficulty being a nightmare, the story's not bad.
Yeah.
I think I'm around halfway through the game now.
That's good. You're getting to the meat and potatoes now. Meat and potatoes. That's where you really gotta dig in and start just like munching away and really taking it all in, because like the story starting off was fine, but then it really picks up towards like the latter half, like when you start figuring out who Aloy is, what she's figuring things out, and it's like, whoa. And then so what do you think of the open world, the gameplay like aspects? I'm not like combat, but like gameplay aspects and stuff.
I mean, I like the gameplay.
Me too.
It's fun to just run around the world. It's fun
And
to get out.
collecting stuff, like exploring stuff, is amazing in that game. That's another thing I like. And then sliding, I really like it when I slide, and she makes like a little comment. So, well, I got rocks in my pants. Some of that's so funny. But yeah, I really like her character, the open world design. And speaking of open world design, oh, I cannot stop gushing about how Horizon Forbidden West looks. It looks phenomenal. Like, I even saw the gameplay footage of PS4 and the PS5 over the past few months, and every time I see that game, I just say, Guerrilla Games, you are killing it. You're making this game a step up from Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to do more podcast 9. You take it easy, man. Have a wonderful night. Keep on keeping on, and be safe out there. And I'll catch you on the next video. Alright, Horizon Forbidden West, I really like the new machines they offer, like the Slitherfang, and some that can like hunt you underwater. Underwater exploration, that's one thing that the first game lacked. I can't wait to start doing that. That looks fun. That looks fun. The animations on the characters were amazing. So far, way a step up. It's way step up from Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, Guerrilla Games understood like some of the nonsense that first game had, and they say, you know what, we hear your complaints, and we're gonna try to make the sequel better. And so far, it's living up to expectations. She's got a little bit more arsenal in her pouch for tools and stuff to take down enemies. I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm liking everything about the game. The story seemed interesting about a blight, and of course Silence is up to no good again. And I can't wait to find out more. I haven't looked up everything about Horizon Forbidden West. I want to go on kind of fresh. But I have seen gameplay, the story trailer I reacted to. I will be playing it, like I said, told 9, I will be playing it day one on my channel, along with Dying Light 2. So, look forward to that. That's kind of like my overall view of Horizon Forbidden West. It's just, I'm really interested in the story. I think the story looks incredible. Sounds incredible. The characters look great. Machines look great. The world, like the locations look beautiful, stunning on the PlayStation 5. Even PlayStation 4 looks good. Alright, Ari, tell me how you feel about Horizon Forbidden West of everything you saw so far, that you saw.
Honestly, the game looks a lot better than the first game. The whole underwater thing, that was a lot different from the first game. Didn't expect that at all. Like the underwater exploration.
Right? I know, that surprised the crap out of me too.
I heard somewhere that there might be underwater combat too.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I heard that somewhere, and I'm hoping it's true. Really hoping it's true.
As I know, one of the gameplay footage that they showed, it showed her like being chased underwater. Ooh, get wrecked, son. $73. I've been just standing here, but it's too scary out there. But anyways, yeah, like the underwater surprised me a little bit. Like that state of play gameplay, they saw her like go underwater and swimming, like she hid in the sea. I don't think the seaweed, but it was like the big tall weeds underwater. Like she hid in there, like the crocodile machine was going around. Like it never spotted her. I thought that was pretty neat. The way you like the exploration where you use like the current to help get to the other side of like the river. I thought that was really neat. And yeah, like I said before I get interrupted by infected. Like you said, Ari, that the underwater, hoping it might be combat. I saw footage of her. She was actually being chased underwater. So, like she drove, like she dove underwater, and like the one of the machines that can swim underwater jumped in after her, and she had to swim away. But I wonder if there is going to be combat underwater. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Who knows? We might. Like I think they're keeping a lot of stuff under wraps too. um, but yeah, Horizon Forbidden West looks good on my end. Anything else that caught your eye about the sequel?
Honestly, it just looks like they expanded on the story a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Like from what we can see already, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's like it blows my mind how good it looks. Wow, yeah, the virals in this game. But yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, it's just not a whole lot I can talk about. I mean, I don't want to like start speculating about the story, but I, other than I think that what's the cause of the blight is something to do with machines, something to do with the world. I mean, the world's in shambles. The machines are going like the first game they was going nuts. And we had to put a stop to it. So it's like the blight could possibly link to the machines, could possibly link to what Silence is up to. I mean, the story trailer at the end, I don't really know what they could be, but I have speculation one of the characters could be. It could be from all the history documents, all the video footage and stuff we're talking about. I don't want to talk about too much because I don't want to spoil Horizon Zero Dawn too much. But it could be linked with those two things. Other than that, I'm not quite sure, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the story unfolds and just play the game and explore and what's really hit me on the nerd side is the RPG element, like upgrading your stuff, modification, workbenches. Yes, they're putting workbenches in Horizon Forbidden West. I think that's a nice touch. If they can like pull off I know Guerrilla Games is not Naughty Dog, but what I love about Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2 is the workbenches. Like Ellie or Abby would take out their weapon and put it on the table, like start taking parts off and mod it and stuff like that, whatever you decide to buy. Like if you want to put a scope on it, like they'll customize it and put the scope on and stuff like that. I thought the animation was sick. It was realistic. Maybe if you mod stuff in Horizon Forbidden West, maybe you see Aloy like start taking pieces off and put, a modification of some sort on their weapons and stuff. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. What do you think of the workbench idea for Horizon Forbidden West?
For what now?
The workbenches. They said in one of their blogs and stuff, they talk about putting Aloy's gonna have workbenches in certain areas that she can go to and customize her weapons and stuff, like bows and stuff like that.
Honestly, I don't think I saw that.
Well, now you learn something new.
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, they talked about it a little bit. I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. But yeah, they're gonna make it where Aloy can go to those benches and stuff and customize and make it more immersive, more realistic. Instead of just going through all your menus, your skill trees and stuff like that. The first game was fine, but I think if they can simplify things a little bit, not make the menu so cluttered, I think it'd be brilliant. A brilliant idea. And if it can like pull that off with like the animations, like seeing Aloy take parts off and like customize her bows and stuff, I'd be dope. So underwater combat, we are going to see familiar faces. Aaron, I know you know Aaron. You met him 2 or 3 times already. He's going to be in Horizon Forbidden West. Just the same old goof as himself. There's going to be some returning characters from the first game as well. So when you beat the game and you start playing, if you do decide to get Horizon Forbidden West, you'll say, "Oh, I remember this person. Yeah, I remember this person. Yeah, they're in this game. Cool, cool." Aloys get to meet up with them again. I thought that's kind of neat. So what's your hype level for Horizon Forbidden West? Are you kind of interested? Do you want to just say, you know what, I'm interested, but I gotta beat Zero Dawn first? Like, where you at in mindset?
I mean, I'm interested in the game, but like, gotta beat the first game first.
Right? No, I know what you're gonna say, but I'm just saying that again because so the audience can know what your thoughts are. Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, the first game and the second game are linked. It's not like, 30 years later and Aloy's 70 years old and trying to track down. No, there's nothing like that. They're pretty linked. I think Ari. I think the time skip between the end of the first game and the start of the second game, it's like just a mere few months later. It's not years, it's just a few months difference between the end of the first game and into the second game. So it's pretty linked. It's not a long disappearing act between Aloy first game and Aloy second game, so, which is cool. So yeah, as you can tell guys, I am really excited to stream it. Ari wants to play Zero Dawn first. He's interested in Horizon Forbidden West. I remember that one trailer I posted, and he wasn't interested at all. And then when he watched that trailer, he's like, "What?" You remember that day?
Oh, I remember that day.
Yeah, they just like, man, that make me want to get interested in that game. That looks good. It's just like, wow. Like, okay, so we'll move on from that. We talked about Dying Light 2 a little bit. We're going to say Dying Light 2, the rest of our thoughts on everything towards the end. The next topic is Final Fantasy Origin, or Stranger of Paradise. Now, as you guys can probably know, I mentioned it before, I'm not huge on Souls games. I do have Demon Souls. I have played Dark Souls 1 a little bit. I played Dark Souls 3. That's about it.
You also played a little bit of Bloodborne, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I played Bloodborne for, 2-3 hours. I remember that. So I will play them. I will try to play them a little bit. I'm not super bad at the game. I mean, Demon Souls, I beat 2 bosses already. The first 2 bosses I beat. There's a lot of players out there, they raise so much they can't beat the first boss. So it's like, I'm okay. I'm not great. I'm not like those guys that play Demon Souls and can beat it in one day. I mean, those speedrunners. Me? I just play here and there, just get my feet wet and dig in a little bit and play them. As you guys can probably tell, I did my reaction to the Elden Ring gameplay for the Castle Morn. I thought it looked interesting. The game looks good. I don't want people want to compare Elden Ring to Demon Souls. Like I said in my reaction video, I'll say it here. Elden Ring is being made on multiple platforms. Demon Souls was made from the ground up to PlayStation 5. So that's why Demon Souls may look a little more crispier, a little bit more, you know, maybe a little bit better. But you know what? It's a PlayStation exclusive game. They remade it for the PlayStation 5. Elden Ring still looks fine for being on PC, last gen, next gen, current gen, whatever you want to call it. Depends what you are. If you're still stuck on last gen, you're calling it next gen for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series. And yeah, I mean, Elden Ring looks good. I'm interested in it. I might not get it at launch, but I'll probably pick it up down the road and just get my feet wet because I like the open world. I like the enemy designs. I do like the setting, the theme. I do like the stuff of that nature. The lighting looks great. So, so Stranger Paradise. Sorry, went off a tangent on Elden Ring. I know Ari's excited for Elden Ring. But Stranger Paradise, I watched the almost 5-minute trailer for Stranger Paradise. Of course, I did my reaction video to it, guys. If you haven't checked it out, feel free to check it out. I had to mute it because copyright claim or copyright strike. But I went back and rewatched that trailer, and the story is pretty juicy. If only I was pretty, like, more decent at Souls games, I'd probably pick this up in March and play it because I like Final Fantasy, and I know exactly what they're doing with the story because I talked to a friend of mine, and I was mind blown. It's like, no freaking way they're doing that. But apparently they are, because you go back and watch that trailer, it's like, what? Really? But the song they chose for this, like, the later half of that trailer, I can't believe they done it, but it fits. It fits for Jack, for his character, like his character moment, which I thought that's it's like pretty shockingly good. Like, it's out there, but you wouldn't think they would choose that type of song, but or that person that sing the song for that. But hey, you know what? The trailer kind of sold me on the story. The characters seem interesting, and you know what? Pick that game up down the road. Yeah. So, Ari, did you happen to check the trailer out?
I am back.
Oh, he was gone.
I was only gone for about a minute.
Alright, I was talking about the trailer, the almost 5-minute trailer for Stranger Paradise. Did you happen to check that out?
I think I watched a little bit of it, but it wasn't the full thing.
Okay. So what was your thoughts on, like, the little bit you watched?
Like, it looked interesting. It looked cool.
And I know you're kind of interested. He was interested in because it's got the Souls-like factor to it.
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna play out, though.
Yeah, the gameplay was fun. It's got a lot of RPG element to it. Like, you do pick up, like, different gear and stuff like that. Like, throughout the throughout the demo, it's like changing my outfits pretty regularly. I know it's not like Demon Souls. Demon Souls or Dark Souls a little different. But I could tell that it's a Souls inspired game for sure, with Final Fantasy, of course, Final Fantasy elements in it because you are fighting Final Fantasy enemies and stuff like that. So, and you do have different classes to choose from, like if you want to be a mage or a great sword user or anything like that. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So, take a drink here. That's come out in March, by the way. So, alright, let's see what else is on the docket. Yeah, you know what, I will talk about this for just a short bit. I did talk about it in the Discord server and stuff like that. This whole deal with Microsoft buying Activision and Blizzard. A lot of people, like the Doomsday folks and fanboys, are saying that's it, game over. Sony lost the console wars. Microsoft's gonna win. Sony's gonna go bankrupt. You know what? Shush. You don't know. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're talking out of your butts again. Fanboys, relax, zip them up, put the rulers away, calm down. The deal hasn't worked through yet. There's still a chance. But Sony's not going under. Sony's not going bankrupt. Sony's going to be fine. They already got plans. Sony's doing their own thing. Yes, Call of Duty was a lot of fans, a lot of players on PlayStation. Yes. Are they all going to probably buy a PC or Xbox and play out? Yeah, they're going to go over there and play it. But I guarantee you this. A lot of those Call of Duty players on PlayStation, they're not going to give up their PlayStations because I bet a lot of them do play a lot of Sony exclusive games. So yeah, they could go over there and start playing Call of Duty on Xbox or PC. But you know what? The fanboys say, hey, war's over with, Microsoft wins, just relax. Nobody wants to listen to your blabbermouth. For me, I think it's a business decision that Microsoft had to make. Ari can fill in some of the details that he's heard. I'll let him talk in a second, but I'll give my little spiel. I think Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard the way they are right now, Microsoft knows that they're in a mess. The whole deal, you gotta know about the harassment and all that. The deal goes through. The one that's in trouble with all that, he's being let go. He's stepping down. They're releasing him. He's bye-bye. Bye-bye. Go. See ya. And then Microsoft's gonna help make sure that Activision Blizzard gets back to where they were without any of the harassment issues. That's a good buy. Ari will tell you another thing why Microsoft done it, but to me, as a shocker, shocked the world. Even the news was talking about it. It's like, whoa, Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard? What? This is huge. It's the biggest purchase in video game history. Yes, it's big. A lot of people are flipping out on it. A lot of people are making speculations, but remember, Sony still got contracts for Call of Duty, and as far as we know, for the next few years, Call of Duty is still going to be on PlayStation for a while, until afterwards, we'll see. Phil Spencer said he's not trying to rip away communities away from PlayStation with this move. He knows how important that is. He knows that Activision Blizzard, they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money from PlayStation players with Call of Duty. I know that Microsoft sees that as an opportunity to say, hey, if we keep on PlayStation, well, we can start raking in the money a little bit. Keep raking in the money. Keep their, it's best for both sides. I think that's what's going to happen. But Sony has plans. Sony's got a few of their studios working on a major first-person shooter. All I know is it's gonna be kind of like a setting or a theme of kind of like Halo in a way. I mean, kind of futuristic. I'm not sure. We don't know anything else after that. Other than that, they're making something ambiguous. You got Factions 2 coming. You got other things coming, guys. Sony's not gonna go under because, oh boy, they might lose Call of Duty. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. That's all I have to say. I was kind of worried about it first thing, but I settled down. Let the dust settle, then think about common sense. Now, Ari, if you want, you can fill in the rest of the audience of why Microsoft did what they did. So, take the floor. I gotta give my mouth a little bit of break. Give me a drink. Start losing my voice a little.
Well, from what I heard, Microsoft did it because they know how strong the competition is this console generation. So they're trying to get an exclusive game.
Right.
Or they're trying to get exclusive games, behind Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. That's what I've been hearing.
Right. Yeah, you told me about that, and it makes sense because a lot of people want to, there's even rumors and stuff going on that Apple wants to get in the video game console market. They want to make a console that's going to compete with Sony and Microsoft now. Who knows? I mean, lots happening. So it's like, man, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy how, like, once something like this happens, like, stuff starts coming out. Like, you start hearing things and start, wow, really? That's what's going on too? Like, holy crap. So no wonder why Microsoft pulled a, you know, called the shot and pulled the trigger per se. They just said, you know what? We got to buy this because we don't want anybody else to buy it because it'd be out of their hands, you know. So yeah, we want to talk about that a little bit. Let's see what else. Any gaming news? Let's see. Well, Gran Turismo 7's got a trailer out. I didn't check that out yet, but last I knew, the game looks good. It's a nice racer, racing sim. I haven't played a Gran Turismo 7, Gran Turismo game, not 7. I haven't played that since like PlayStation 1 or 2, so it's been a long time. Long time for me. And then, what else? Anything major happened I can think of? No, I don't think. Not really, other than I can go back to talking about Dying Light 2 for the remaining of the podcast. Yeah, let's talk about Dying Light 2 to wrap things up. Because we talked about...
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab water.
Feel free. Alright guys, we are gonna continue talking about this while he's gone. So Dying Light 2. This is gonna wrap up the podcast. It's all about Dying Light 2. Beginning, we're gonna finish it. Wonderful podcast. I thank you guys for sticking around if you're watching this all the way through to the end. I know this is just me doing this raw. We're doing everything raw, live. There's no edits, there's no cuts. So if I have a brain fart, you guys are going to see that. So, yeah, this is my first, I think my first video game podcast. And I think a lot of people would like to see me do this. If we have any big gaming news, I might do one once a week. But maybe once a month, I might do a podcast. Definitely expect, before we get to Dying Light 2, expect me to do a podcast about Dying Light 2 when I play and beat it. I'll probably talk about how I feel about it. Horizon Forbidden West, after I beat it, I'll talk about that too. And then any other news, like we might do a podcast, live stream, gameplay, gaming stream podcast thing for when we got big showcases like Final Fantasy 7 event thing. I'll do a video on that. But like PlayStation events, state of plays, stuff like that. If I feel like it needs to be talked about. Other than that, Dying Light 2. But Dying Light 1, we'll talk about that again, but Dying Light 2. Dying Light 1's events here, as you guys saw me playing a little bit, it is leading up to Dying Light 2. I mean, what everything going on with the with Spike and Crane, everything's going nutty. The first event was trying to stop the Rises guys from going nuts. And I think it's all leading up to Dying Light 2, like I said. There is going to be a returning character. I'm go watch that video of mine about the opening cinematics. Yeah, that's been crazy. Look at this. It's been crazy, but you're not supposed to be in here. There we go. But yeah, as you can tell, the virals are going nuts because things are happening. If you saw the ending of the following, this is before the following though, so I don't understand. But anyways, we're not going to really talk about it too much, but there is a returning character. I'm not going to say who. You can go watch my other video on that. But all these events here are leading up to what's going to happen with the Dying Light 2. So, do you have to play Dying Light 1 to understand Dying Light 2? No, you don't have to. But it's for us fans. They're doing this for the community, which I think is cool. Now, Dying Light 2, we talked about the gameplay, the zombies, the parkour, story a little bit, and I want to take a moment to talk about the environments. I think the environments in Dying Light 2 are just mind blowing. Just going from Dying Light 1 to like Dying Light 2, the environments in Dying Light 2 are like way better. The verticality is gonna be amazing. Like just having like dark zones, like I think their exploration is gonna be a lot better. Not so like bland. This one's fine, like gathering stuff, but I think Dying Light 2, not part 2. Dying Light 2 is gonna be way better, in that regard. I already watched a few gameplay footages of content creators who are able to like stream a little bit of it when they was able to, a side quest or two, like I said before. Just like the environments, the atmosphere, and just like I really like the sneaking in Dying Light 2, like the way it looks, the way it is. Makes it a little easier to get around. Because in Dying Light 1, you can't sneak. Like, I can do that, and so you can't sneak. In Dying Light 2, I can sneak around and do takedown moves, which I love that. I love that, the new thing they put out for that. Just overall, I think Dying Light 2 is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to play on my PS5. It does have 3 modes. It's got quality, performance, and what's the other one? Resolution. We'll go on details a little bit on that. Resolution is 4K. Quality is like ray tracing. If you want to see like ray tracing on like the windows and stuff like that, which looks good, looks amazing. But if you want to play like a lot of people will, performance mode is your way to go for frame rates. If you want to play a solid 60 on next gen, play on that. For Xbox and PS5. Last gen, you can manage 30 FPS. There's no different modes, I don't think, for that. PC, you guys know about the PC requirements. Minimum is really low down there, but like when you get up there, you need a high-end PC to play this game. If you want like ray tracing on stuff like that, which looks great. I've seen PSC footage by a lot of content creators, and Dying Light 2 looks amazing. It looks amazing on console. Game looks like Techland is really taking a lot of feedback in the community. Like a lot of people complain about the health bars, the RPG elements. Like, you know what? They go, it's all in the settings, guys. It's gonna be having a whole bunch of accessibility for everybody. Like, you can turn the HUD on and off. You can turn off the health bars. You can make it more as immersive as you want. Me, I think I'll play with the health bars on because I like to know when the zombie's gonna be dead, because in Dying Light 1, as Jason saw, I'm like sitting there going smack, 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 smack. It's like the zombie ain't dead yet. It's like, when's the zombie gonna die? I mean, you don't know until the head explodes. But in Dying Light 2, you can have the health bars on and off. With it on, I know when the enemy is almost dead. So I think I'll play it with the health bars on just to see how it looks. And I like the RPG element. Ari, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what is your thoughts on, like, the HUD of Dying Light 2? That you saw so far.
Good. I mean, looks good. Everything about that game so far looks like an improvement over the first game.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, I'm glad they added like a RPG elements in Dying Light 2, because Dying Light 1 is fun, but I think with me, I love RPG games. So when they put that in Dying Light 2, I was like, oh, thank you. That makes the game even more immersive, and like I just like to go in there and like customize my character, upgrade him, do the skill trees to my play style. I'm like, I cannot wait. Like, the HUD looks good. looks more fresh. This HUD's fine, but you're constantly looking in the corner like of the mini map there, and like you're constantly looking at that and not look at your game. But it's like, okay, where am I supposed to go? I can go this way, and I think I like the compass at the top. The skill trees, I think the skill trees look amazing on Dying Light 2. And the gear, like, you get about 140 to 200 different types of weapons. You're going to have about 400 to 500 different pieces of gear you can pick up and customize what your character's going to wear. Aiden Caldwell. What he's going to wear for, like, different stat boosts for, like, your different type of playstyle. Whether you're going to be more like a medic, where you'll heal a lot faster, you're a parkour expert, or you can be a brawler that can handle one-handed weapons, or do you want to be a tank where you got big two-handed weapons, you can take more punishment and whip out some more. Yeah, and it sounds cool. It sounds cool, and each piece of armor, like, pieces of armor you pick up, like, has different stat bonuses, so it's like, you can mix and match to fit your playstyle. You can get, like, if you have all the same, like, say you want to play tank, so you wear everything that's all tank, stat boost, it'll give you a bonus stat, I guess, for, like, your two-handed weapons will do more damage, it'll take up less stamina. It's just my speculation, but I think that's going to be cool. And of course, as you get better gear, you can replace them. So you know what, this only had like 4 points of defense. I found something that's got 8 points of defense. I'm gonna put that on. Hey, it looks cool. You can do that too. I think just having a variety of ideas for Dying Light 2 for customization and for your character, I think is great. It's a great detail that Techland decided to go forward with, because Dying Light 1, let's face it, yes, it's got cool outfits, but they didn't really do anything for you other than cosmetics. So they took RPG elements and just like, hey, let's roll with it. And a lot of people are happy with it. A lot of people are really happy with the way the menus and the gear and stuff looks. Even the weapon designs look great in Dying Light 2. I can't wait. So what do you think of the RPG elements in Dying Light 2?
Definitely an improvement over the first game. I mean, most of what I play is RPG games.
Yeah.
So.
Very freaking good. I love the way they went with that idea.
It's definitely a good change.
Yeah, for sure. And don't get me wrong, guys. Dying Light 1 looks amazing. Even it's like it still lives up even nowadays. But Dying Light 2 is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Just there's some some people are worried. Like already here is a little worried about last gen, which is all fine. It's a big ambitious game, like I said. But it's just like I think it'll be fine. Just if you're playing on last gen, just keep your expectations a little bit lower. Don't expect it to play like a next gen console or a high end PC. Just keep your expectations to a realistic thinking, and I think you'd be fine. I don't think the game's gonna be Cyberpunk over again. I don't think so. But just be careful. Just don't overhype yourselves with high expectations. Like I expect a base model PS4 to play like the PlayStation 5. It's not gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna happen. Just like with Xbox. Don't expect an Xbox One to play like an Xbox Series X. It's not gonna happen. Just keep your expectations low. I think you'd be fine. But if you're still skeptical and worried, just wait until the game drops. Wait till somebody starts playing it. You can find streamers that are playing on last gen and just see how it plays. Or on that, wait for a sale. I'm pretty sure the game will go on sale months or so down the road. Just buy it then. And then, yeah, that's all I gotta say about last gen stuff. Anything else you want to talk about Dying Light 2 to close it out? Like, do you have expectations for it? What do you expect the story to may go, or?
I don't know. I'm just hoping the game. I'm just hoping the game plays well for all platforms.
Yeah, me too. What else? Yeah. One more. I think we'll touch this real quick. What do you think about the whole idea that Techland's doing about choices and consequences? Your choices have, all your actions got consequences.
Honestly, I like it. As far as like, is it in just the story or is it for everything?
It's even in side quests. Like, even side quests, like, depends what you choose to do. It can have, like, dramatic outcomes of the side quests, like, to certain characters and stuff like that.
See, I like that.
Me too. It gives you more control. Now, I'm just gonna say it now, there are some portions of the, like, decision making, you're gonna have to be quick on your toes. You're gonna have about 20 seconds or so to decide. I think it's 25 seconds. To decide which decision you want to go. It makes it more immersive. Like, you're right in the thick of it. It's like, where do I go? What do I say? What do I want to do? I love that. I love the way it's kind of like Until Dawn. Like, you remember how I was streaming it, and like the QTEs pop up. Like, which way you want to go? Like, do I want to hide? Do I want to run? It's like, you gotta make a decision in a hurry, and it makes your heart race. It makes it more like realistic. It's like you're in the game, and I love that. Now, I might suck at QT. I don't think it's gonna have QTEs in this, but you get my point. And I think as long as the choice and consequences don't become dull, like just same thing, like, oh, if it don't matter what you decide, like this is gonna happen, like it doesn't change anything, like that'd be a little disappointing. But I would say like a slice of death, like stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really into it. That's one of the things I like about Dying Light 2, like just decision making, like all the quests and stuff they showed, like you can, like, back in 2018, 2019, when they done like the water tower decision, and like you could side with the colonel and stuff like that. Like, it's like you can side with the colonel and not even see like the outcome of what happened if you turn the water pumps back on. It's like you might not even have that whole area to play around in. All, the city is underwater. If you didn't decide to go with a colonel, go against them, you might not have that city to play around in. You might be missing loot and stuff like that. That's how big that decision can be. And I go, man, if they can keep that level of decision making, especially if like side quests and main quests, man, we're talking. So I'm really hyped. It's about 6 more days. I got mine pre-ordered from GameStop. Who knows? They said that they're preparing my order. So who knows? As soon as I get it, though, if I get it before the official release, I will. I'm streaming it Friday night. I'm still not gonna take a chance. If I stream it before the embargo lifts for everybody to stream, I can get in trouble. I can get my channel deleted. I don't want to do that. So definitely Friday night, I'm gonna be streaming it. So that'll be on the 4th. Just be on the safe side. So I think that's all I want to talk about Dying Light 2. I'm really highly anticipated for it. I'm hyped. I'm excited. You guys saw my YouTube videos of Dying Light 2. I will continue making Dying Light 2 content. It'll be me streaming the game. I don't think we're getting anything else before launch. I kind of doubt it. I already talked about the mini event here. It's all going to connect with Dying Light 2. Techland's doing it for the community. I think it's a wonderful little touch. I'm definitely going to probably turn it off if I decide to play this game, because I don't want to sit here and fight thousands of virals, because they're everywhere. This is event number 2, and the virals are everywhere in this game. Now, what the event on? If I turn it off or go back to normal. But definitely know where they're going with this. Definitely hyper excited for Dying Light 2. I'll be playing on performance mode, 60 FPS, and PS5. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. And I think this will wrap up our first J19's gaming podcast stream, where we talked about Dying Light 2, Final Fantasy VII 25th Anniversary, Horizon Zero Dawn, Dying Light 1, Horizon Forbidden West, the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft, Final Fantasy Origin, and yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys for stopping in. If you're checking this out later on, thank you guys for love and support. We are at 129 subscribers. I can't thank you enough. I hope we continue to grow. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all you've done. A wonderful day, wonderful night. Keep on keeping on. I'll catch you all in the next video. And as always, I'll have links in the description below for my Twitch, Twitter. Follow me on both. Discord, join. And with that said, hope to see you guys next time when I live stream, which I think is when Dying Light 2 drops. I'll be live streaming that game. Until then, I'll continue to making videos if I see any interesting videos come up, for Dying Light 2 and whatnot. So, with that said, be safe out there. Be nice to each other. Love you guys. God bless. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.